For those ones who are meeting me the first time, my name is Antoinette Bizimana, and I am a holistic nutritionist. And my whole objective is to spread the education of health and wellness by using food. Food has shown to really show the importance and how it can heal. We have been given all the tools necessary in our body without even understanding the complexity of the human being and metabolism, which is what I focus on. It can be metabolism is very, very complex subject. If we went into the science behind it and how the metabolism works in every pathway that you can absolutely define in terms of metabolism, it can take us hours and hours. But my whole objective is to educate you and make sure to give you just simple steps that you'll be able to use very quickly, given our busy life, our busy schedule, things that you can do today and better yourself and be a healthier and a happier you, a better version of yourself. So that's all my whole objective of making this and making sure that I spread this and share with the world. So wherever you're listening to me, thank you for giving me some of your time to spend and explain the importance of metabolism. And today's subject is going to be thyroid dysfunctionality and metabolism. All right, thyroid dysfunctionality and metabolism. So let's just kind of define, like kind of a thyroid. Why is thyroid very important? It's because thyroid is just kind of like a thermostat. Now, if you do have a thyroid dysfunctionality, that will be, your thyroid is not working anymore. It's broken, right? It's broken. It's completely broken. You have hypothyroidism. And what that means is just is that you're not producing enough of hormones to regulate your metabolism. That's all what it means. And when you're going through this, it's just kind of like, when you set up your house, let's say we all have thermostats in our homes, unless if we're living in the tropical world where it's beautiful and nice, the temperatures are always great where my ancestors are from. And then you don't have, the third, the thermostat analogy will not apply to you. But a thermostat is really there set for a temperature. It's either your temperature is going to be high or your temperature is going to be low. Now, when you have this situation, that means your temperature, your thermostat has been set low. Now, when you have the thyroid dysfunctionality and your temperature has been set low, all means that everything in your body is going to function slowly. That means in terms of your energy is not going to be at the top. Thereby, when I talk about the symptoms that you can experience, fatigue is one of them. And then your digestive system is not going to function very well. And the burning of fat is not going to function very well. So thyroid dysfunctionality is very, very important, especially the hypothyroidism. That's the one that's going to slow you down, because again, the thermostat is low, and as a result, you're not doing that. So, but how does it function? What are the things that are happening in your body that are causing this thing to happen, if any, if you have this at all, or even my body, if I was to have it, what's happening? So, the body that, the thyroid produces hormones, particularly these ones going to be T3 and T4. And those ones, they help determine how fast or how slow your body is going to work. So the more you can have too much of it and then your body is like going crazy, or you can have very low of it and then your body is very, very slow. Like that's what it was like, my metabolism is slow. So that's other things where it's going to be extremely slow, where it's actually very scary. Just like it can be high. So keeping your thermostat at the right level is very, very important for metabolism, for a lot of functionality in our body, because the thyroid really affects every part of our system. That means our cardio, how fast our heart is going to beat, is going to help with digestion, as I mentioned. It's also going to help with how do you say that? With reproductive system. Exactly, reproductive system is very, very important. So those 3-2 and 3-4s, they're very important hormones. And there's another test that we'll talk about later, which is called the TSH. That's also important in terms of determining how healthy your thyroids are. The other one that I'll just mention is that why is this important, and what are the other things that you can do or determine, which is the subjective. I always separate the subjective and objective testing. The subjective test, again, it's about you. It's about how you feel. It's about how you express. So go ahead and express it as much as you can. Go ahead and just kind of like say it, because it's as providers or practitioners, it's very important for us to have the both equations of what's going on, because testing is one, but also your symptoms that you're possibly experiencing is very important to make sure that you are seen as a whole human being, as a whole. That's what both subjective and objective is very important. So when it comes to subjective, you may be experiencing things like fatigue. You may be experiencing that you're gaining weight very quickly and very difficult to even move a pound out of your body. That could be that you have, a thyroid dysfunctionality. You may be experiencing some coldness. Let's say you have your hands, you feel extremely cold on a regular basis. Your feet feeling cold on a regular basis. Your hair is thinning out. Those are the things that you can be experiencing, and that could be the cause, the fact that you have hypothyroid, the thyroid dysfunctionality. So that is the subjective testing. Now, you wanted to also do, for you to have a whole picture, you want to also have an objective testing, which is the blood work. So that one, what you're going to is going to tell you, your level of your T1s that you're producing, your TSH test. You want to have your T4 tested, your free T4s, and then also make sure that you see how much reserve of the T3 you have in your body. And there's also the thyroid antibodies that you can also do. Those ones, they do help also see the overall, the TG, ABs type like. So your doctor should be able to help you and go a little bit in more details, or the practitioners working with you to explain to you. So it's very important to understand when you have when somebody tells you you're what does it mean? Or because we do tests, and this is what I see regularly. I'm not a person who's going to like understand every single test, but there's certain tests that is very important for you to absolutely understand and know. If you don't act, what are the possible long-term consequences that you can have? Hypothyroidism is very, very important. And there's certain things that actually, if your numbers that they are on the border, or they're close to the border, being low or high, there's certain things that you can do that can possibly help you, adjust with that. There are things that you can do in terms of your food. Again, I say food is really essential when it comes to healing the body. It has helped so many, many, many people get to the goals of what they want to get to. So when it comes to that, you want to probably focus on things that, that help you with your energy, because your the dysfunctionality of thyroidism, if it's not taken care of, is going to affect a lot of things into the body. So when it comes to food, you want to focus on things that are rich in zinc. You want to focus on foods that are rich in B12. So B12, that's going to be fish, that's going to be beef, that's going to be eggs, fish, eggs, beef, salmon as well. That one is going to give you a good omega-3s, very, very essential. And then make sure that your iodine, very, very important when it comes to this, the iodine levels. You want to make sure that your iodine levels are the optimal levels, because that's one of the biggest factors that's going to cause a person not having a dysfunctionality in their thyroid. And there's one, you find seaweeds food, you find a good amount of iodine in there, and eggs too. Some eggs do have a good amount of eggs have iodine. But if you cannot get in the source of food, you can also get in supplements. But again, pay attention to supplements. Not all supplements are equal out there. Pay close attention to what you're putting into your body, so that it does not cause extra harm through the system. Now, there are a few other things that are also important when it comes to that. There are certain people who may be experiencing probably with that, and kind of managing the level of gluten they have, and also understanding their level of vitamin D. Deficient vitamin D, again, vitamin D, there's no video or maybe any content that I would speak of that does not have vitamin D. If I had in the past, well, that's what was it. but with a lot of reading and understanding and other people's experience, and the functionality of vitamin D in our body is very, very important. So a lack of vitamin D or deficiency in vitamin D can also can be a relation, now maybe not a cause, but can contribute to a person having a dysfunctionality in their thyroid. So keep that in mind. And really, when it comes to these type of things, you want to avoid an excess consumption of things that has a fluoride, or things that has choline. Too much of that is also going to block your iodine, basically the iodine in your body. So don't consume a lot of things. If you have this condition, you probably want to avoid things with fluoride, or anything with choline. Because those things they may interact with fluoride, and you want to have, with iodine, and you want to make sure that you have a sufficient amount of that. So I hope this was helpful. Again, the whole reason of putting this, and I'll put some research documents, resources that you can dig a little bit more deeper. But if you do have this condition, or you do have this situation, these are the test, the subjective testing you can do, and then the other blood work that you can do to help you understand yourself better, and make sure that the thyroid dysfunctionality that you may be experiencing is taken care of. All right, I hope this was nice and quick and sweet to help you get better, be healthier. Again, sharing is caring, and I wish you nothing but better health and well-being. All right, thank you for listening. And for extra information, look at below. I'll put extra contact information that you can look more to understand your metabolism, and make sure you boost it, and make sure that these things are not your set back, right, in terms of your health and well-being.